Now, more than ever, we have to stand together and be unified. We are all getting bombarded with negative energy in the form of, for example, news and that, right? So, and people are actually living it where they're at, right? So, it's very important to have a mindset that if this is affecting you, and it affects all of us, it affects myself too, to see constant negative energy bombarded here, right? If it's not the COVID, it's a protest. And if it's not a protest, there's a major crime going on. If it's not a major crime, it's something else. There's a war going on, right? So, and there very much is a war going on in another dimensional level that some of us do not know about, but there is few that do know about it, right? So it is the ongoing war of positivity and negativity. As I keep saying on my previous posts, that negative energy comes in many shapes and forms. It is the master of disguise. There is so many fronts that those faces can put on to affect you, right? And so I want us all to have the empowerment to think and say, this is not right. I want to make a change for the better, right? So, and we all have that within us. We were all born with a mind and a heart, right? So those are two very, very, very powerful things at your disposal, right? So we each have the capacity to stop fear, to stop the cycle of the many faces that it's throwing at us. If it's lack of confidence, if it's the fear of poverty, if it's the fear of the unknown, for example, those questions is what fear wants. They're gonna inject it in the back of your head. They're gonna plant those seeds, and they're gonna keep growing in the back of your subconscious, right? And they'll keep growing, and they'll keep growing until you break. And people are broken. It's really sad to see, and it aches my heart to see people are broken already. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to turn to in that. And so they become part of the mass that's responding to fear in a negative aspect. For example, we'll look at a typical city that is experiencing high crime rates and rioting, for example, right? So, yeah, the fear is going to infect your mind. It's going to dwell on the fact of stuff you don't know, right? It's going to make your mind think, well, what about this? What if this happened? What if this happened? Am I okay to do this? Do I have the confidence to do this? Can I not beat this? And yes, you can beat this, right? So, because your subconscious mind does not know what's real and what is not. But your heart does, because your heart grounds you to this plane here. You see, they need to work in tandem, your heart and your mind, because the universe will always mirror what you put out. If all we're seeing is constant negativity, of course it's going to come back with constant negativity in any way, shape, or form. It's going to keep beating us down until we have no reserves left. And some of us don't even have anything left. Right? Some of us are like, what do I do now? I'm totally depleted now, and I'm living amongst this. Right? So, but there is hope. There is hope. For sure. This is definitely a preventable situation, because we all have the power to control our destiny, to control our mindset. If we were all to just switch the tables on a global scale and just inject positivity into everything. Put all of our differences aside, right? Get rid of the fear blockages amongst all of ourselves and accept everybody for who they are, no matter what they've done and no matter where they came from. You have to be able to accept yourself and then in order to acknowledge that there is negative energy out there. Because if you don't accept yourself and your flaws and your own negativity, you're just going through the motions. You're just sleeping. Your eyes are closed. You're like this. I'm going through the motions now because I cannot accept, our own faults. But if we do accept our own faults and accept it and acknowledge it, and that is the hardest part that each and every one of us has to do in this life, is to love ourselves first. I know it's hard. But once we conquer that, things will begin to open in your mind. New possibilities will open in your mind. Right? Because you'll be able to accept a lot more. Your mind will open. Right? So your eyes will come from closed to open. Right? So it's such a beautiful thing. I've experienced it. I had to love myself. Everybody has their own demons. Everybody's got their own struggles, right? So nobody is perfect in this world, right? So, and we all have to acknowledge that we all have our own challenges that we overcome. That's what makes us individuals. That's what makes us human, right? So if we all acknowledge the negativities, then we can give the negativity positivity. And that's gonna scare the shit out of that. Because fear is gonna be like, well, what's going on? Oh, all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with all this positivity. What am I gonna do? I got a bunch of free thinkers now that are thinking, hey, there's more to it than what I see in a three-dimensional plane, right? So there's more to it than the news. If you were to take a step back and go and think, why is there a riot going on? Why is there situations like this where people have to die? And once you've accepted the negativity and acknowledged that, your mind will be open to more reasoning and more possibilities for positivity to come. Because that's fear's trap. It'll come in here to each and every one of our minds and our subconscious. It'll keep infecting until it gets bigger, 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 until it breaks you. But no, fear's got nothing on me, because I'm giving it nothing but positivity in every way, shape, or form. If it's coming at me, I'm coming at it just as strong, if not stronger. Right? So it's looking at our vulnerabilities. I'm looking at their vulnerabilities, the fear's vulnerabilities. How is it getting into our mindset? How is it injecting ourselves into our mindset? And I'm coming at it and I'm putting up blockages to them. And I'm coming at it with enough positivity to harmonize with it and unify with it to the point that that energy is no longer present. I'm not saying that there'll only be one major incident in our lives and that'll be it. No, life is full of ongoing challenges. Life is full of ongoing energies. Right? So it's up to us to be able to take a step back and think at every situation and think, yeah, our first reaction is going to placate fear, because we're going to give anger that way. We're going to give anger. We're going to give fear. We're going to give anxiety. People are scared. That is fear's fuel. And fear is anticipating the multiplication of that for the masses. But if we all turn the table and say, no, why do we have to continue to put up with this fear cycle? I love you guys. I love each and every one of the negative energy coming into me. Because it's coming into me and it's like, well, I'm receiving love even though I'm full of fear and negativity. There's nothing that I can do because the energy is then harmonized. Because there has to be a positive to a negative. There cannot be a negative to a negative, because the universe will mirror that. But if you have a positive to a negative, that'll then cancel out that negative energy and leave room for everybody to like breathe and relax for a bit, to get their composure back until the next challenge comes along. And that's how pretty much life works, the way I think about it at least. And it seems to work with my deductions in that. But we all need to be on the same page. We all need to unify, right? We cannot be separated, because that's what fear wants. So it comes in here and it's going to separate the weak from the strong, right? Some people will get this immediately, this message, and be like, he's got a point. And some people will not. But it's not their fault yet, because they're not at that level of awareness yet. It's up to us to protect everybody until they come up to our level, and keep doing that. It's an ongoing cyclic thing with life, right? So we got to protect our most vulnerable, because that's how fear is coming in with negative energy in that. And that's how it begins to grow and fester, right? So we all need to put our differences aside, no matter what, and focus on a positive outcome. And we're going to see how this world is going to change. And then we're going to put fear and negative energy, we're going to give them a notice. And we're going to say, no, we're not doing this no more. People are getting sick and tired of this now. People are getting empowered now. People are passing this positive energy on in any way, shape, or form. Passing these messages on. And that's how we're going to begin to break the cycle.